All right, game starting. So cool. Guys, do me a favor. I would really appreciate it if you go hit that retweet on the tweet I just put out. Let people know what's going on. It's been so much downtime that I think everyone's just kind of written it off at this point, saying, "Oh, there's no real matches happening." I spammed him in chat. So yeah, if you got Twitter, I'd really appreciate it. If not, just enjoy the games. Here we go. It's game one in a best of three. Still in the group stage for WCS Austin. Coming at you with a solo YOLO cast, but that's okay as we get into map number one. To the bottom right, we have the Canadian queen herself, the Red Zerg, Scarlet. And her opponent to the top left, none other than the blue Protoss, the one and only Asterians, Harstum. Although I should give some credit to Team Expert. We've actually seen Bly, MMA, Scarlet. Everyone's actually wearing the jerseys, so I'm reminded that, hey, that's right, that's the team. Because I don't feel like there's a big presence for them, so I want to make sure we give them that little bit of a bump and that little extra mile for a shout-out. But I'm just turning sounds up on my end for a second, guys. Hopefully this won't hurt your ears. If they do, I've got my chat open on my laptop now, so you can let me know, and I'll try to make sure the stream looks good. I think we're still running 1080 60 FPS. Hopefully nothing's broken in that regard, but we've had things go wrong today. Luckily for me, though, I've come back at a time where things are working well-ish. Vision 360 in chat asks, since there's a delay, are you guys going to finish everything that was originally planned? What time will today end? Isn't it already 10 p.m.? Yes. Presently in Austin, it is 9:30 p.m. It's hella late. And I don't know what the rules are for how far they go. I think they want to finish as much as they can today, because originally the plan was to do all of the round of 16 on the mainstream tomorrow, and that would be like easy peasy. But now they've been entertaining the idea of like me coming back to do some extra B streaming to cover extra matches. I don't know how far it will go today. I don't know if it will finish today. I feel like the remaining time we have in the venue, because the venue itself closes at midnight, right? I think there's enough time to finish everything. But let's worry about that later and just focus on the games for now, right? Harstum has a really cool PvZ style. I enjoyed a bit, but I haven't got to see Scarlet for a while. She's been holed up in Korea. She's been not playing in a ton of online tournaments, and we haven't got to see her play style much outside of doing things at GSL and making quite some noise over there with Cheese, as well as, of course, getting really aggressive with linked attacks. And I love that because it's not even something new. It's not patch-related. Like, I still think one of the it is definitely the second fastest game we ever cast on our channel was her versus Stats. Just killing a pylon early on, GG type thing. So you've got a mix of new maps, you've got her play style. I'm excited to see the non-standard ones like Acid Plant and Catalyst that we saw through all of last season, and I want to see a little bit of an extra mix. They posted the maps in the chat, but I don't remember what they are off the top of my head, so we'll check it out in a bit. Rufus Rock says this group is the group of death, man. I think a lot of these groups are the group of death, man. There's so many good players who have made it through to this point. And while there's some Chinese/Taiwanese names on the list we don't recognize, the fact that they made it here impresses me enough to say they should be feared. So, yeah, this group in particular is a little bit heavy for those who don't know. On the other side of this, it's not just Scarlet and Harstum, it's Showtime and Kelazur. This is probably the most group of death out of the groups of death, but by a bit. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's still Showtime and a ton of other really good players competing. But anyways, enough about the groups and more about what's happening. Harstum's gone for the Phoenix opener here. We talked a little bit earlier with Mana's games because he was doing a lot of funny things. And I really enjoy seeing new stuff like the double Stargate. Hey, you know what? It's a possibility. Not likely that Harstum throws it in the series. But Harstum's the kind of guy who is absolutely willing and able to go to that Golden Armada tech to take it all the way through sky and not through ground. But I'm really curious what the follow-up to this ends up being, because Phoenix into Oracle is pretty standard. Oh, he doesn't kill the Overlord. Oh, that's a mistake. I looked away because I just assumed it would die, and maybe he did too, so a little bit awkward. But he shuts down scouting from Scarlet, and there we go. There's that second Stargate. So this has been made popular in Korea. We saw it out of Mana earlier today, and of course Harstum would be trendy enough to follow this up himself. That being said, though, a double Stargate build versus Zerg objectively isn't that crazy. It's just something we haven't seen for a while, and it's not that common yet. Maybe it's the next new meta. And I'm sorry, guys, I sound like I've got a stuffy nose. It's because I'm doing my best not to let it run all over the place. But we come in here. It's a quick pickup on the Queen. This means he's only got the Spore Crawler to worry about. This should get Harstum an easy 3 or 4 kills. Only goes for 2. Wants to play it safe. Queen almost gets the Oracle on the way out, but there's another one. It's a Phoenix, and of course another Stargate, meaning he can do a lot more in the future. I'm just wondering, though, if this is, like, go heavy on the Phoenix, like a style we saw earlier today, or if this is go heavy on the Phoenix for now, take a third base, try and go for, like, those carriers. I think the new style is definitely a lot more fresh. It might be something Scarlet struggles against, rather than the old style of just turtling up. But either way, he will use his air advantage here to secure the third base for the time being. Not a lot these Zerglings can do, especially with the Oracle here. She knows that too, so she pulls back. I like the scouting link she has on the left side too, keeping an eye on whether Carson had taken this as his third or this as his third. But knowing the third timing here is pretty important because let's not forget, she's not scouted the double Stargate element to this. Only the single Stargate effect from, hey, a couple of Phoenix were made. Until Harstem shows his hand of like having 6 Phoenix at an irregular timing, there's not really anything here to confirm for her that it was a double Stargate opener. But she's doing things right. Earlier today we saw problems where, I think it was Namshar if I recall, he had a late layer to this build, so he had a later Hydralisk den and thus didn't have any anti-air to compete with. I'm not saying this is going to be much better for Scarlet, but her timings are definitely a lot better. One of the big things about Phoenix, of course, is they kill Hydras pretty easy. Now here's that abnormal amount of Phoenix I was speaking about. Harstem shows his hand. She's going to know this is double Stargates and double down probably into the production here for anti-air. Takes out some of these queens. I like these lifts. He continues to lift, so he's going to get the kills. Another lift, another lift. This guy goes to the gym. Just look at him play. And of course, he doesn't skip leg day or Phoenix day. This is some nice queen kills because it's not costing him much. So far, only 1, almost 2 Phoenix go down for this. He does drop back. Gets another queen for it. But while this goes on, this is a lot of energy used by Harstem, so he won't have that much to pick up the Hydralisk when they spawn. Like, getting these queen kills is great. There's nothing wrong with this. 5 queens go down. It's a lot of money lost now for Scarlet. But he's only got 3 or 4 pickups at most for the Hydralisk, so it's a little bit tough and a little bit rough as he has to just kind of walk away for the time being. That being said, Harstem didn't just focus on this and forget to macro, right? His money was kept low. He has saturated the third base. Beyond this, too, he continues his further production, and I like the Robo quite a bit, but I like the Twilight Council a lot more. I think the Twilight Council leads to eventually Storms, which, of course, lead to killing Hydralisks, and he knows that Scarlet's going to be primarily going for Hydralisks, and not something weird like Corruptors as a counter to this. But yeah, this is a little bit late. People are pointing out in chat. There's so many delays that happened today, folks. Again, try not to focus too much on what's happened and just focus on what's happening now. But yeah, this has gone quite late into the day. There's no doubt about it. I've missed dinner. I've missed lunch. The only thing I got to eat today really was breakfast and a really awful ham sandwich. But I feel really bad because you guys donated a ton of money earlier, and I owe MC and MMA food. So hopefully I can treat them to a nice lunch tomorrow when I have an off day. Base Trade TV, watch GSL. It starts in 1.5 hours. Hell no, dude. I've been doing StarCraft since 9 a.m. I'm going to do anything except StarCraft when the cast is done today. I'm going to go, I don't know, literally get food first and foremost and then find out what people are doing and get really, really drunk. And then if while drunk, people want to watch GSL, then I'm down for it. What are MMA and MC up to? They were doing a lot of promo stuff. They were signing stuff. Oh, no! Big mistake out of Harstem! Phoenix get caught flying over the Hydras. Classic Protoss blunder. He goes from like barely 1 or 2 loss to 6. This sucks, especially because he's not remaking any. And you could argue, well, that's not that big of a deal because he's going to have Storm and Templar and otherwise. But I think every supply counts right now. Scarlet's been going hard. You know, she's not been making a ton of drones. She didn't go up to 80. She took a 4th base, sure, but she's ready to attack with a massive Hydralisk army. But great force fields out of Harstem to buy time. Storm is only halfway done. There is no engagement that Harstem wants to take before that upgrade's finished, but he's going to be forced to. Those Phoenix are on the wrong side of the map. He's on the wrong side of supply. 114, and it's mostly Hydralisk coming into the fray. Harstem's sitting here with these Templar that are going to absolutely die, and Storm is seconds from finishing. We've got exactly, what, 10 seconds to go? Can he buy 10 seconds of time? Even then, will that be enough? There's so many Hydras remaining, and without Zealots to clean it up, he's forced to tap out. GG Scarlet takes game number 1. Pretty well done out of the Queen of Blades, as it's nicknamed. Or she's nicknamed, excuse me, here. As I was trying to remember what the reference was initially, then I'm like, right, StarCraft 2, Kerrigan, duh. But, okay, I got the map order. It is Acid Plant into Darkness Sanctuary in 16-bit? How did Darkness Sanctuary make it past the vetoes, I wonder? Alright. Well, with Darkness Sanctuary being the next map, 4 player spawns, we get to see what's going on. Got a bit of a crowd gathering outside the barrier too, so people can watch some games. Good stuff to see. I don't actually know where Scarlet is sitting in here. She's not too far from me, actually. She definitely can't see the screen without having to jerk her head quite a bit. But if I was to do this, hey, what's up, Scarlet? How you doing? Give it a little bit of a boop boop. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm like 4 years old. Always ready. Sorry. Good luck. Oh no, I've turned on something on my monitor. How do I turn this off? I'm just gonna hope it goes away. Okay, it goes away. Nice, nice, nice. All right. So Darkness Sanctuary being the second map, and my nose running like crazy. Oh man. I like this too much to not cast. It'd be so much easier just to go back to my hotel room and sleep. But all right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm crushing your head. Thank you, Boris or Bob. That's kind of the reference I was going for here. But our WCS caster has left. I'm not sure if that was intentional or not. A little bit awkward. But it's game number 2. Spawning here in the top left side of the map, we have the red Zerg. Once again, she's up 1-0. It's Scarlet. With her opponent in the lower right. And ooh, Scarlet. Her opponent in the lower right is going to be the blue Protoss Hearthstone. Now, what she's doing here is kind of cool. It's a 4-player spawn map, so there is this degree of safety you assume you have. There's a literally 1 in 3 chance you get scouted first instead of last type thing. And with her going for this early spawning pool, I don't know if this is her maybe a little bit worried about Hearthstone coming her way, or if she, and this is more likely the answer, wants to get aggressive to her opponent. Because Hearthstone, he's not going to ideally have a full wall off. He's not rushing out a bunch of Zealots for early game defense. It's Darkness Sanctuary. You're supposed to have time to get all these things out. So she scouts to the right first. She'll confirm no Hearthstone spawn up here. That gives her a 50-50 chance, and I think with the money being saved, she is looking for Lings for now. The question is just how dedicated this gets, though. Scarlet has done this version of a build and macroed out of it before, but I think this is really dangerous for Hearthstone. He went for the Nexus. He's got a later gateway, so he's got a very exposed pylon. And if she guesses right, remember, it's 50-50. She's going to know he's not in the top right, so she's going to guess bottom left, bottom right. If she goes straight to the bottom right, Hearthstone's pylon is going to get killed by Speedlings, and if that pylon dies, it's going to be game over. Now, I'm trying to check where she's rallied. She's rallied to it! She's going to the bottom right! I mean, it's a very lucky guess, guys, and it's going to work out well for her. Hearthstone has to wall this off fully and entirely. The probe has to sit here. If he pulls this back, look, she's kind of splitting her trade. Again, she doesn't quite know, right? So she splits 50-50. She'll get everything here in the bottom right, though, because she knows it's not the bottom left. She knows it's not the top right. She's going to hit that bottom right, and this is so bad for Hearthstone. He doesn't have the wall off. She's going to get in on top of that pylon. The Zealot's getting chronoed. I think the Zealot beats this, but the pylon should still die. And if that pylon goes down, yeah, there's that probe pull. Because if this pylon's his lifeline. If this pylon dies, it's game. But remember, guys, she's got speed. She's got more Lings. This is a really good move from Hearthstone to fully wall this off. He's definitely not underestimating her commitment to this. There's a big problem, though, because he didn't pull pretty much all the probes. And, oh, he cancels! He thought he was safe! Oh, that was a greedy mistake out of Hearthstone. Maybe convinced that the Zealot's more than enough. He's got 2 Adepts coming out next. She runs to the main looking for some probe kills. Remember, Hearthstone pulled all of his workers. He's not mining while this goes on. Scarlet is getting huge economic leads, and on top of this, getting worker kills to boot. Now she's going to depower that pylon. If she gets that pylon kill, guys, remember, it's still going to be game over. Even with the Adepts coming out, she's done so much damage. She's absolutely ahead in mining. She's absolutely ahead in workers. And she's going to get a kill in the main. She doesn't get the natural base, but she's going to get a kill in the main. Hearthstone has to respond to this, but if he responds, he's in danger of getting surrounded. And this amount of Zerglings can take on the Adepts or just run past them and go for probe kills. It's a shame she didn't double down with the all-in. I feel like Hearthstone would be totally screwed, but I love the way she's getting ahead behind it, and that's what I'm talking about, guys. Scarlet opens with a very Maru-esque style, right? Instead of doing a 2-rack, she does an early pull. She comes across the map with these Speedlings. Grand total of 13 probes killed for 13 Zerglings. That's a pretty nice trade any day of the week. This only is made better if she had killed this Nexus, but she got huge economic leads. 10 workers ahead. Hearthstone was not mining for almost a full minute straight, and you can just see here on the income graph, guys, it's streets ahead for Scarlet. People shut out in chat. I mean, maybe, but Hearthstone's going to fight this, guys. It's WCS. This is not some online single elimination tournament. It's a group stage. You've got more games. You've got more chances, but you got to make the best out of all of them. So I think what's going to be really scary is he comes across the map. He's going to scout that she's got almost full saturation on the natural, and this isn't a bluff. This is actually her just being wicked ahead. So they're going to see on top of the Adepts, too. They're going to transfer through. I don't think they're going to cancel. But as they run through to the main, she's already on top of this. She killed one Adept before the transfer finished. This Adept gets here to not even kill a single drone. Oh, that's a little awkward with the inject there, but okay, she still nails it, and she goes for the attack once again. Harsum is left with almost nothing back on his side of the field. Chrono Boost is nice, but Chrono Boost has not made up for the bandage of 10 workers behind. Oh, I love this. This is so much. This is everything I think about when it comes to Skarlet. Like, I actually don't have high thoughts about Skarlet when it comes to like ZVZ or ZVT, but every time it's a ZVP, I know she's willing to do moves like this, and she has taken down absolutely top-tier Koreans doing those moves. So Harsum, I mean, he played, I think, a little bit into the map. I think the 4-player spawn helped a bunch with him being a bit complacent with his defense. Like, if this had been a 2-player spawn map, you may have been more on board with like being ready for this. I really can't say for certain if we didn't ask him, but one thing's for certain, Skarlet has gotten the upper hand, and now can she hold on to it, right? 3 bases, drones, it sounds like a sweet deal, but Zerg can fall off pretty hard if they make one wrong mistake, whereas Protoss, warping after warping after warping. So until we're like fast forward 15 minutes from now, Skarlet's maxed out, and she's gaining a bank of like literally thousands of minerals. She's not gotten the game in the bag. But goddamn, if anyone tries to argue that she isn't ahead right now, you are so wrong. I think, Warp Gate's just finishing up. It's been such a setback for Harsum. He goes for Stargates, and it's double Stargates behind this. It's almost like a bit of a bluff move to do. Not in terms of like, okay, Skarlet, I don't want you to see it, but it's a gamble as to whether it will work or not. Old Man Toast, thank you for the 28 months, by the way. I like this at HS2. Your hopes are high, but your funds are low. That is a perfect way to describe what has happened to Harsum here. But if you guys remember the way game 1 went, Skarlet was ready for the double Stargate. And this was after Harsum had already made 6 or 7 Phoenix. She was on her way to a Hydralisk Den. She's actually hitting the Hydralisk Den at about the same time the Stargates are finishing the first time. So this is going to be pretty rough for Harsum. I don't even know if he could possibly, with Chronos, make enough units for this to be a problem for her. I think her macro and her money should be good. She's coming up on a 4th base, and while roaches are being made now, we'll see Hydras joining soon after. I mean, she doesn't know it's Stargates, let's be clear about that, but she doesn't necessarily need to, because Hydras are just your all-around source that you're going for anyways. Hey, is that my boy Jesse in chat? Miss you, Graham. Wish I could be there. Dude, don't call me Graham in front of my friends. You're embarrassing me, Mom. Jesse, I'm cheering for your boy Neeb. I've seen him a couple times. I'm hoping he does well. But big shout out to Jesse in the chat. Guys, this is tough. This is rough, and this is not going to look very good, I'm telling you right now. If you're a Protoss player, you might as well just swap streams because you're about to witness a freaking massacre. Harsum's even got over weapon upgrades, which I think is a little cute. I don't know how much it really will affect what's going on here. But, again, Skarlet doesn't know about the air, so she's made maybe more Roaches and Ravagers than necessary. It's actually a low enough Hydralisk count. There might be enough Phoenix to pick up all the Hydras. And even if he kills all the Hydras, he won't have the energy or the DPS to deal with the Roaches, which is the problem for Harsum, really. 3rd base gets set up. He's transferring over, and he hopes the high hell she hits him in the natural because he needs this money. He built a 3rd Stargate. He is really doubling down on this air gambit working. But Corrosive Biles will be able to hit a Void Ray that's slow. Hydras obviously have their innate DPS. Skarlet sees for the first time the amount of Phoenix that are in play. A little bit scary. She's got to focus fire these down to make sure they don't kill her before she kills them. Unfortunately, the Hydras do get massacred. But as stated, oh, the Corrosive Biles actually hit! He pushes in, or she pushes into him, and Harsum, he's got no ground units. There's no shield batteries finished. There's no cannons. These Phoenix will take forever to kill. Anything that she has, and then army supply, well, it doesn't lie, guys. She's almost 4 times the supply up over Harsum. The weapon upgrades get denied. The shield battery's depowered. There's not enough Sentry Force in the world to buy time to save this game, because on top of this, she's also striking into the 3rd. The main base has a Void Ray. It's helping fry some of these Roaches. That's going to be nice, but it's not going to be nice enough. Good game gets called. Ladies and gentlemen, Skarlet with the 2-0 kicks it off in her group in good fashion. All right. So that is game 1, or sorry, series 1. There's still a winners and a losers match to be had. We might try and stick with this group. I do need to emphasize to anyone watching before you get too super excited, at any point the main stage may choose to swap what they're doing and take one of our matches as we are in their territory, so to speak. So as we advance forward, we'll find out what we can and can't do. For now, though, I think I would like to stick with the It's safe to say you guys would like to see Skarlet versus either Kelazur or Showtime. I think I would too. But for now, it's going to be a little bit of wait time. So I also want to give a shout out to Eric Arcana. Dude's been tweeting me clips all day. I haven't gotten to watch them, but I've been seeing those Twitter notifications pop up. Thank you for being a clip champion today. Rifkin's so big. Yeah, well, it's just, what can I say?